ATL, stand up.
You know who it is. This your boy
Technician.
Alright, what's good, people? This is my first official UFC Hangover podcast. This is all going to be part of my Triple C's podcast, Combat, Crypto, and Controversy. But yeah, so I didn't get to do a video before UFC 217, but I did all my picks and my predictions. I posted on Facebook. So I did just want to go over what I called before the fight and then my thoughts after the fight. And I'm going to do one of these for every UFC pay-per-view. So the next one's UFC 218, which is Frankie Edgar versus Max Holloway. And I'm definitely going to do a pre-fight podcast for that, for the Triple C podcast. So look out for that. And then I'll always do my thoughts after the fight, hopefully within a day or two maximum. I'll give you all my thoughts on kind of like, yeah, the effects after the fight. Who's a star? What kind of controversy went down or didn't go down, and the kind of the hot topics to chat about. So let me start off with some of the predictions that I made. So for UFC 217, Madison Square Garden, New York, return of GSP, but people care more about the co-main event, at least I do, and that's talking about TJ Dillashaw versus Cody Garbrandt. But let me go down what I wrote down here. So for GSP versus Bisping, I wrote, this is going to be the battle of the jabs, and can Bisping stop GSP's double leg takedown? Number one, the battle of the jabs, it surprisingly did go to GSP. I thought Bisping was going to outbox GSP. I thought 4 years off, older, definitely looking thick, GSP was looking heavy. Not that Bisping's, Mr. Olympia himself, but man, GSP looked thick, and he gassed. He was starting to get slowed down in the second round. But on the feet, GSP was doing work, like surprisingly doing work. And Bisping was not able to stop GSP's double leg takedown. But in reality, it actually didn't really matter because Bisping did most of his damage on his back, slicing up elbows. I think he broke GSP's nose on the bridge, definitely sliced it up. And he sliced up open his eyebrow as well. So, man, Bisping is no fucking joke. I know people overlook him, and I do too, even though I picked him to win this because of size difference and layoff. But dude, he's so scrappy everywhere. That fight with Anderson Silva, one of the best fights ever. I know it was on Anderson Silva's tail end of his career, but the back and forth, and look at his face at the end of that fight, man. Bisping is a scrapper. He's like everything you want an English like scrapper villain guy to be. He's like perfect character. But yeah, man, he got worked. He got choked. Didn't tap. What a G. He knew he couldn't stop it. He said, "You're gonna have to kill me." Like literally, that's what you do when you don't tap. Is like, I know I'm gonna die. Kill me. Going to sleep. Man, but yeah. So amazing to see GSP back. I think the move for him is to go down to 170. I don't think he should be fighting the Luke Rockholds and the Weidmans of the division. They're way too big. I mean, you can get fatter, but you can't get taller. You can't get longer. So, yeah, I think he needs to go down to 170. I think Tyron Woodley's a terrible matchup for him, but this is what Tyron's been crying for, begging for, and I think he if he gets it, it's all on him. I mean, if he can't make, after what GSP did with Bisping, if the fight with Tyron Woodley versus GSP is a snooze fest, you got to look at the common denominator. But yeah, so anyways, let's not look into the future too much. Cody Garbrandt versus TJ Dillashaw, my most anticipated fight, did not end up being the most exciting fight for me. But yeah, I wrote Cody's speed will be the difference. If Dillashaw can win, it will be because of his chin and his left head kick. Okay, I wrote this November 3rd, okay? Man, first round, Cody was making TJ look silly. The speed difference was significant, and TJ couldn't land shit. It was looking really bad. It was looking like it was going to go to an easy decision to Cody. But and at the end of that first round, he put TJ on his ass with the same counter right, not as high up, but the same one that he released that video of catching TJ in training, which is interesting. And I also think it's interesting that he released that video the day before, even though he's been claiming he had it for 60 days. Maybe he didn't want TJ to practice dipping on it, and they caught him with it. 10, 15 more seconds, I could be talking about Cody retaining the belt and And who does he fight? Dominic Cruz next. Like, what's his move? But him losing and TJ getting the belt makes it super exciting. Though that trio plus Jimmy Rivera, don't get it twisted with him, who Dominic's fighting next. That four-way is they could all fight each other every day, and I would watch every fight and I would pay for it. But damn, so TJ makes it out the first round, stumbling. Second round starts. I don't know why, but Cody was hesitant and didn't go in for the kill. I mean, intelligent. I know why, but man, did TJ set up that left head kick? So what Cody likes to do when he's avoiding leg kicks is that he likes to bring his lead leg forward and kind of like get out the way. But you see that head motion? He literally dips into what TJ's faking a leg kick, and he brings it up top, and boom, his face meets his foot or his shin. And oof, that was the beginning of the end. I mean, I know the finishing shot was when TJ, I think, slipped to his right, came over the top with a right hand. But God, that left head kick, boy. And he wasn't really touching Cody before that. So, yeah, I would like to say I got that pretty freaking spot on. God, what a great fight. If GSP and Bisping fought 10 times, I would go GSP 8 out of 10. If Cody and TJ fought 10 times, I would go TJ 5 out of 10. That could go... No. I would say Cody 6 out of 10. Yeah, I think Cody clearly had an advantage as far as fight technique, speed. Who knew TJ had that knockout power? But I think it was the head kick that already had him concussed. Man, I want to get to this because number 3 is what I really want to hit the meat of. I think this deserves all the limelight, all the shine, all the everything. Okay. Joanna Youngjae versus Rose Namajunas. My upset sleeper pick: rear naked choke or heel hook by Namajunas. JJ has been talking about legacy instead of Rose. Mistake. So what I mean there is, before the lead up to the fight, I watch everything. I watch the weigh-ins. I watch the media workouts. I watch the media interviews. Everything, right? This is the only thing. This and cryptocurrency are the only two things I'm balls deep in. But so Joanna was talking about beating Ronda Rousey's record, being the most dominant female champion ever, going up to 125. After that, going up to 135. And I'm not saying she looked past Rose because she put in a camp. I mean, she beats the shit out of everybody. She comes to every fight at 100%. She never slacks off, never gives her best. But I literally think she thought there's no woman that can beat me. As long as I keep doing what I'm doing, they got to figure out how to beat me. And that's exactly what Rose did. Trevor Whitman, her striking coach, and her got together and they said, lateral movement, because Joanna likes to go, she's a Muay Thai fighter, back and forth. When you're trying to hit her, she backs up. When she's coming at you, she comes forward. And she comes forward and it works because she's peppering the shit out of you with everything. And it's just like a death by 1,000 cuts. And most of the girls don't have the composure or the ability to slip out left or right. Rose, if you see in the beginning, she's snake charming her with her lead hand, and she's doing a lot of side to side, wide stance, because she knows that Joanna's not going to try to take her down. And if you pay attention, you watch that fight again, Joanna didn't touch her, not with a fist. She caught her with a few leg kicks, maybe one punch. I think probably not. And what Rose did was she came in. It was halfway naked left hook. She dipped her shoulder like she was almost like she was faking a jab, I guess, and dipped back, and that made Joanna parry. So when Joanna's parrying her hand this way, Rose just came, boom, left hook. And in an interview, Rose actually thought it was going to be my right that did it, but that left just hit her right on the button, and Joanna went night-night, boy. Well, not night-night, because actually Joanna tapped to the extra hits on the ground. That was shocking. But I just think she knew how concussed she was. I mean, it was bad. But man, I think Rose came out a superstar because of who she finished, the way she finished her, where she was at, Madison Square Garden. The lead-up fights were awesome, so the momentum was there. And her post-fight interview where she was saying, this belt means nothing. You know, I'm going to use this platform to express love. And I think all this hate and negativity is unnecessary. There's just too much of it. I'm going to represent the light. And oh man, yeah, she was just everything. She was epic, cool, calm, badass, scared, but like held it in. Yeah, it was just nuts. I mean, even when Joanna came up in the weigh-ins and she knuckles to the face and just, you know, she didn't budge, and then Joe Rogan was talking about when they were talking shit at each, or when Joanna was talking shit to her on one of these occasions. Rose was just citing the Lord's Prayer because it was like a mantra to stay calm. Don't let the emotions come in. Don't play her game. Don't get crunk and riled up and try to fight her. You're not going to be able to touch her before the ring or the cage anyways. So she had this mantra where she was saying, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be. I mean, some gangster movie shit. I mean, she shaves her head because she says, this shit's getting in my way. My way of what? Of fighting. Do you think she gives a fuck what she looks like? No, she only cares about beating bitches up. That's the champion you want. That's the person you want to promote. That's the person that Vogue and Cosmopolitan, whatever, should have on the cover. No makeup, no hair, no curves yet. Probably the most beautiful athlete in MMA. Like, right? Because it's your everything. It's your aura. It's how you present yourself. It's your principles. It's how you treat others around you. It's how you accept fame, power, and glory. And man, I think that she's definitely a bigger star than Joanna soon. And she can surpass Ronda easily if she goes on a 2-3 fight title defense streak. And I mean, the way she finished Watterson, they wanted the winner of Watterson and Rose to fight Joanna to look like a badass. I mean, Michelle Watterson's getting mad push. So she's taking out the top dogs, and she's doing it in incredible fashion right now. I can't say enough about her. I'll do a whole podcast just on her. But let me get down to Wonderboy Masvidal. Wonderboy will be too awkward. I mean, this is all future tense, right? Because I wrote it at the time. Wonderboy too awkward, and Masvidal has been busy trying to pick a real fight with Michael Bisping all weekend instead of focusing. Basically, I was just saying, it's just going to come down to Masvidal has no idea how to stop what Wonderboy's going to bring. Like, zero. If you watch that fight in the very beginning, Masvidal did train for him. He did have a game plan. He was trying to parry Wonderboy's lead leg, which he used to like to use it as almost like a jab. Masvidal was kicking down at his thigh to prevent Wonderboy from using his leg. But that only worked so long, and he only did it for like the first half of the first round because you can't just focus on that. You gotta hit the guy, right? And then Wonderboy, once he felt comfortable, boom, right to the gut. Masvidal goes, ow! If you watch it in slow-mo, literally says ow. Another time, kicks him in the gut, knocks him down. Third time, fakes it to the gut, brings it to the face. Boom, catches him. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He did the Chris Tucker, which one of y'all just kicked me? Like, literally, he probably thought there was two Wonder Boys in there. I mean, this fool, boom, slipped to the side, over the top right, switching feet, both legs, no wind up, low, high. I mean, who can beat Wonder Boy? Who can beat Wonder Boy except Wonder Boy? I mean, Tyrone beat him, but that's because Wonder Boy decided to do nothing. Wonder Boy beat himself. The first fight, I mean, Tyron won it. Like, knocked him down, almost had that fight finished, yes. That second fight, though, man, that's you, Wonder Boy. Like, he's the champ. I don't give a shit. You got to go out there and get that shit. You got to get that belt. He's not going to hand it to you. You got to go take it from him. And because Wonder Boy didn't finish Masvidal, like, I mean, he dominated him, but because he didn't destroy him at the end, he ain't going to get that title shot. And he's going to have to beat two more people before they even consider letting him fight Tyron for the trilogy. The only shortcut for Wonder Boy is if Tyron loses the belt, either to GSP or the winner of Lawler versus RDA, whoever they give that title shot to. That's what Wonder Boy's praying to God for. He's, oh, sweet baby Jesus, please let Tyron lose to somebody. And Wonder Boy's best bet would be if GSP wins so he can get that super payday. But yeah, nobody can beat Wonder Boy at 170. Like, nobody. That man is a fucking problem. And number 5, holy shit, Johnny Hendricks missed weight. I meant to say, holy shit, he made weight. Or maybe I was thinking he was going to miss weight, but might get knocked out and be forced to retire. How crazy that GSP's last fight was Johnny Hendricks. And now Johnny Hendricks is at the bottom of the card, got his ass whooped and needs to retire, while GSP took 4 years off, came back, won the 85 title, and I mean, two people who were at the same place and 4 years later just radically different. And who was training, who focused, who took time off but like didn't get fat and lazy, like took those 4 years just to train to come back and do this. GSP surpassed everything I would have expected from him. Amazeballs. All right. Let's see if there's anything worth mentioning from the Hangover part. I said, Holy Mother of Canada, GSP looked big but did not lose a step. What's ring rust? I thought it was going to be the battle of jabs and that Bisping's boxing was going to win it for him. GSP out-jabbed him well. If you see my previous post, TJ, yeah, whatever, Rose. Okay, let's get it. All I can say is that she was stoic all week. I'm talking about Rose Namajunas. All I can say is that she was stoic all week. Calm, nervous, but collected. Didn't flinch once. Stood in the pocket and said, I know you can't KO me, but I can put you on your ass and choke you out. She didn't even need to choke her. Rose instantly became a star because of how she won and how she conducted herself after the win. Oh yeah, she's a badass bitch who shaved her head while other girls are trying to look pretty. I mean, yeah. The only other thing I want to mention about Johnny Hendricks again is doesn't matter if he retires or not, the UFC will drop him if they have not already. Hendricks connected with his infamous left numerous times and Costa smiled at him twice. How one loses so much power so quickly will be a mystery. Best card of the year. Best card in a while. I mean, bravo, UFC. God damn, you guys delivered. I told everyone that came over, if this fight ended after the Rose win, I felt like I got my money's worth. Like, top to bottom, that whole card was ridiculous. And the way Rose won, that was enough for me. Everything, so that Rose was the cake. TJ was the cream, and GSP was the cherry on top. Like this shit was too much. It was insane, man. Crazy. All right, one last thing. Let's look to the future fights here. Oops. Let me scroll this up. All right, so like I said, we got UFC 218 coming up. I think this is December 3rd. But the main event is Max Holloway versus Frankie Edgar. I'll make some official picks later. I got to watch the training. I got to watch the lead up. And I got to watch their old fights and see how they pair up against each other. But just off name value and my memory, I'm going to go Max Holloway 2-1. I mean, it shouldn't be that much, but 150, plus 150. Or minus 150. Shit. Ngannou versus Overeem. I know the UFC wants Ngannou to win. He's the young guy coming up, looks like a monster, has an incredible story about being homeless, moving to France from Africa. Been doing MMA for a couple years now. Got hands, though. But Overeem is the greatest heavyweight striker. Like, I mean, he fights like 170 pounder, 85 pounder the way he moves. But he's so chinny. Ngannou just has to touch him once. I'm going to go Ngannou. That one's tough. I'm going to go Ngannou. Henry Cejudo versus Sergio Pettis. Anthony Pettis' little bro. The safest bet on this card. The safest bet, Henry Cejudo. 210. Minus 180, minus 210. Somewhere around there. And then the mother of all fight. This is going to be the fight. Please don't get it twisted. Eddie Alvarez versus Justin Gaethje. Wait, let me tell you how to spell Gaethje's name. Everybody, YouTube Gaethje. Gaethje. This guy, go watch his fight with Michael Johnson. This is earlier this year. Fight of the year. Go watch that shit. I don't think Eddie Alvarez can knock him out either. I think Eddie's going to try to take him down. Eddie will take him. Eddie will take him down. But I got Gaethje. And then there's a bonus fight, Michelle Waterson versus Tisha Torres. I'm going to go Michelle Waterson. But again, maybe 2-3 days before this. Is it 2-3? Maybe I'll do it a day before. I got to watch all the embeddeds and everything. Everything the UFC puts out on these fighters, all of it matters. What they look like at the weigh-ins. how they're doing their interviews. Like, that doesn't determine who's going to win, but it helps me add 1% to my predictions. Every little thing does. I mean, I base it, obviously, mostly on technical analysis and how they fought other fighters in the past. Is this guy they're fighting a southpaw fighter or not? Are they a jiu-jitsu artist, a wrestler, a boxer? I mean, matchups. You got to look at matchups. It's not just names. You got to look at how they fight, their styles. Are they big leg kickers? Is there power in their hooks or their straight rights? A lot of shit, you know. So I try to put out the video, but sometimes it's gonna be tough to put it out right before. But I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best to do every UFC. I will definitely do a hangover for every single one. But the point of this podcast is to help us make intelligent decisions while hanging out with our friends. And if there's some friendly wagers going on, you know, let's make some intelligent ones. And I just feel like the more your people are educated with what's going on with the fights, the more exciting they are. The more you can get involved with the characters and the personalities and find people that you can cheer for, because UFC is different from every other sport. Like, if you're from Atlanta, it's easy to know who you're going to cheer for in football. The Falcons, baseball, the Braves, right? Basketball, the Hawks. Or you don't cheer for any of them if you're from Atlanta. Assholes. No, I get it. It's tough to cheer for somebody who never wins. But in UFC, it's you know, they're people. So you can't cheer for teams. You gotta like kind of find a way to get involved in someone's storyline, and that's how you can become a fan of them and enjoy the fights more. But yeah, anyways, I hope this podcast was helpful, eventful, and somewhat entertaining. If you have any suggestions or things that you would like for me to go over, or other things, just drop it below. I'll be hammering these out, editing them, and making them better in the future. But just look out for these video podcasts. I used to call them blogs. Now they're streams. Now they're podcasts. Now they're all just kind of one and everything. But I'll let you people enjoy Technicon podcast. It's the combat portion.
2009, it's ours. Let's go.
Rise up, create a bigger buzz in the brewery. You know we shining brighter than Santana Jewelry. Flying higher than the bird gang with the wordplay. My flow stay liquid so I never get thirsty. Woke up with a dream, rise up regime. Rolled out the blueprint, came up with a scheme. Just one goal, put Atlanta on the screen. ATL's best, yeah, got 'em on my team. Rise up, find us, straight swarming like a killer bee. Another competition like a rookie versus triple team. Run against another click, we'll put you in the gutter quick. Listen, quit the tripping on me, you know what you up against. Running the game, grip your click, call me, never diss my team. Taking the vision, we have the ambition, put it together to get the regime. Rise up, homie, show you how to ride now. Gunning through your city, and we'll turn it into our town. Gully on the track again, why you ask what's happening? You know the boy up on the mic just dropping all the facts again. Rip it like it's packaging, spit it so immaculate. And I made a beat so my raps is only half of it. Yeah, I put my heart into this. This is my life, man, it's more than just music. So when you get to take, you better play it well. I represent my city called the ATL.
Lil Sammy rapping, man, that's unheard of. Give me a beat and I'll kill it, call that murder. I put tracks in the grave and bring it back with a hot verse. Kill your career and put it in a black hearse. Rise up, breakers, yeah, dog, that's my family. All of you hating on us, that's insanity. Put up on my city like Jeezy or Kanye. Be easy when Ski Weezy is speaking, you should be listening. I must confess, on the microphone I'm blessed. I'm twice nice to ice to rock around your neck. They call me Killer B, but the arm is tatted back. I'm feeling like a pencil cause these suckers trying to test. Cause we represent Atlanta where we spit that country grammar. The dream team up in the lab, more bars and slammers. I keep my eyes up and rise up. Tell them where we from, where we fought and brush some thighs up.